Hey, what's going on? I'm Weston from Fine Fits Finish Health and Wellness. One thing that I want to talk about today, if you're starting out on your health and wellness journey, you start to go into the gym and you start, hearing talks about, certain things that you might not understand, right? So I kind of want to give that information of just like the three basic things you should understand when it comes to going to the gym and hearing these words and what they kind of mean. So first thing I want to talk about is called a training split. So you'll hear that if you start going to the gym more frequently. Like, hey, what's your training split? If a lot of the memes are like, hey, we do bro splits here, and that's something that's more focused on bodybuilding, right? Your training splits. And what it basically mean is how are you dividing up your sessions? Each session that you go, like, are you categorizing them as something like, am I going on this day, am I only working upper body muscles, or am I only working muscles that go away from the center of gravity? So those are the things when they talk about splits, right? Some of the most common ones that you'll hear, especially if you go and you're starting to talk to all these people, they're like big gym, muscular, all this stuff, you're going to hear things like push-pull legs, upper body, or upper lower. Those are like the more common ones. You're going to hear bro, and then another one that's kind of coming around is full body. And so, what do they mean? Are they useful to you? And like kind of which one is best for just generalized health? So push-pull legs, what it is it's divided into 3 workouts. You're focusing on muscles like push that always just go away from your center of gravity. So you're pushing things away. So you're going to work your chest muscles. You're going to work your triceps. You're going to work your shoulders, right? Pull, you're pulling to the center of gravity. So you're doing like deadlifts or rows, you're doing pull-ups, bicep curls. Those are the things that you're going to work on for a pull. And then your legs is just all legs. You're dividing it into quads, hamstrings, calves, hip flexors, anything like that. You're also going to work your abs in that one. So that's where you're going to do like your squats, some Romanian deadlifts, leg curls, calf raises, your sit-ups, hanging leg raises, all those things in the leg section. So that's the push-pull leg split. Another common one that's really good for strength training is dividing it into upper and lower splits. So you have upper body where you're just working out everything above the midline. You can divide, I'll get into that in a second, but you're working everything. So you're doing bench press, you're doing your rows, you're doing your shoulder presses, and that's really good for when you're like focusing on strength, so that way you can really put a lot of intensity in it, which is something that I'll get into later in the video. But those are the other things, and then you're having your lower, which is the same thing as legs and the push-pull legs. So those are the kind of situations that you want to do. Then you have bro splits. And what that is, it's not bad, but it was a more common thing in the past and in the bodybuilding world, where you work just one muscle group a day. And so like there's like chest day and arms day and back day and stuff like that. And those are okay if you're in a more intermediate advanced area to where you can start focusing on that. But if you're doing generalized health, don't worry about it. Don't break, you're not going to go to the gym and just do a chest day if you can't get to the gym every single day. So if you can only go 3 times a day or 3 times a week, then you got to pick a different one, right? Either push-pull legs, or if you're just doing it for general health and you can do 3 times a week, the next one would be the best, and that is full body training. And what it is every time you go, you just work every muscle group that you can, try and get as many sets as you can, and just do it that way. And so you're going to work your chest, you're going to work your back, your shoulders, your quads, and your hamstrings, and your abs all in one session, which it sounds like a lot, but if you start to think about it, you can do 4 sets of bench press or dumbbell press, then go on to some kind of row, do 4 like that, and then do some shoulder presses, and then you can even combine things. So you could do like kettlebell swings, and that's going to work out the back and the legs really well. You can do just regular squats. You can do deadlifts. Like those things, you can combine a lot. And so you could just do those 3 to 4 sets, or even 2 sets. 2 sets there is going to be great for general health. Just doing as many as you can based on what the weight you're doing dictates, you know. And so if you can only go like 3 times a week, full body splits are just absolutely amazing. You know, if you can only go 2 times a week, you want to work everything out. And so full body is just kind of the better one for, you know, if you're beginning, if you're just doing it for general health, just trying to get moving, you want to work every muscle, you know, that you can when you go. And you can also stretch that into an hour pretty quickly, maybe a little bit longer, but then that way you feel like you're validating your trip to the gym. So that's what a training split, those are the most common training splits. There's a few more out there. You know, you can come up with your own, you know, but those are like the basic ones. And if you're just doing general health, I recommend full body training splits, you know, 3 times a week. And then going into the next thing, you're going to hear frequency. That's another term that's used in the gym and everything. And what that really means is kind of what it says is, how many times are you training that muscle group within a week, within a 7-day period? Now, obviously, people go from like Saturday on a calendar, it's like Sunday to Saturday, but it's from an actual 7-day period. So that's what it means when frequency, not, you know, Sunday to Saturday or whatever. It's how many times in the 7-day period, in a 7-day window, are you training that muscle group? And if you're going, like if you're doing general health, you know, if we're just sticking to general health, training a muscle group 3 times a week is really good. That's probably the best. Now, how long you want to space it out depends on how you feel about it. Now, if you're doing general health stuff, I'd say you can go day 1 and then rest or do cardio or something like that, then do recovery and then do it again. Do your full body thing. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're going like, so you're training it twice in a 4-day period, which is really good. And you just keep repeating that cycle. And so you don't have to really go on a specific day. You don't have to worry about like, oh, I need to go on Mondays to do everything and then Wednesdays. You can. Don't get me wrong, you can do that. And it is good to go in that way. But if you're just going to be doing something like you just need to get to the gym, then just going, you know, once every 3 days is really good. So that's the best kind of way to do frequency, is just figure out how much you're going to train that muscle group. And the more stimulus you give to that muscle group, the more they're going to grow. The more muscles you have, not big, strong muscles, but just like if your body has more muscle, it will burn fat better. And it's going to use it, it's going to take the calories that you input it and process it better. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is intensity. And what it really means, what it boils down to, is how hard you go during a lift, during a session, during a time period, right? So when it comes to intensity, you know, for general health purposes, you're going to want to mix high intensity and low intensity. And sometimes once you start to get in, people are going to tell you, hey, if you're going high intensity, low reps, if you're going low intensity, high reps, right? Now, both of these are true in one sense, but let's consider them like our left and right limits, right? My right, your left, and so forth, right? So yeah, the higher of the intensity, the more effort you're going to put into something. You don't want to go too hard, but there is really no upper limit of that until you hit injury, right? So you'll hear people say, I'm going high intensity for like 1 to 2 reps. That's really good. But your high intensity could be like, 8, which is all fine too. And then your low intensity, this is where it kind of comes into something a little bit different, where low intensity people are like, this is going to help tone muscles. Well, there's no such thing as toning muscles, because tone refers to sound. Muscles don't do that. And if they do make a sound, it usually hurts. And you like, if you hear it pop, then it's going to hurt. But what you want to do with low intensity is you just kind of want to speed things up. And so when it comes to lower intensity, you're trying to burn fat and you're trying to keep moving, all right? You're not going to burn fat in your arms by doing like 5-pound dumbbell curls for 100 times. Like what you want to do with that low intensity, maybe with those 5 pounds, is try and like do squat jumps with them. So that way you're just kind of moving, right? You're just kind of moving, trying to get going, trying to get that blood flow. And then you want to use your high intensity for something where you can take longer breaks. Like you want to do a max squat, as you get on the barbell, Smith machine, or the leg press, whatever you want to do, and you really want to load it up, and you want to try and go down, and then you're coming back up, and then you get a few seconds, catch your breath, and then you're going down, and you're just like struggling to get it up. That's where you want your high intensity, because that's going to build the strength that you need for those muscle groups. And then the low intensity, that's going to be more for cardio and everything like that, and how you build and burn those muscles. So those are really the 3 things that I wanted to cover today. Just some basic terms, 3 basic terms, training split, frequency, and intensity. Those are really what you're trying to look for, or what you're going to hear once you start going to the gym and you start making it more of a habit. And then that's how you want to start building it off too. You need to start going, right? What is your split? If you're just starting out, train your full body every time you go. What is your frequency? Once every 3 days is perfect until you start getting better. Then you want to start getting more. Then you want to get them closer together once you start feeling that you're not getting as sore in that process. And then once your intensity, and you want to vary that. Sometimes you're going to want to go really heavy and just feel it out. Sometimes you just kind of need to go really light and go really low, so that way you can recover and have your muscles repair themselves. So those are the 3 common terms that you're going to hear. Thank you again. If you need help with any of this stuff, hit me up here, leave a message in the comments. If you found me on Linktree or Instagram or anything like that, follow me over there. I have a link in there for a questionnaire. Just message me and I'll message you back. I'll email you back really quickly, and then we can go from there. We can either get you on a training plan, I can help tweak what you're going to do, or if you're just having like some hard times deciding what you want to do and what your patterns are or anything like that, just hit me up, we'll work it through, and then, we'll get you to a better you. So follow me on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Links will be in the description. But thank you again for watching this. Hope you got something out of it, and I will see you in the next one.